and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a reminder to silence your cell phones this evening. We'll start with roll call.
Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Councilor Basil.
Here.
Councilor Gurel.
Here.
Councilor Lindstrom.
Here.
Councilor Scalise.
Here.
Councilor Spradlin.
Here.
Councilor Tyree.
Here.
Looks like we have a quorum. Next we have the approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or corrections for the agenda? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I move we approve the agenda for the regular meeting of April 8th, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Lindstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Councilor Basil.
Yes.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councilor Gurel.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Motion passes. We've all had a chance to read through the minutes of our last meeting. Does anybody have any corrections? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I move we approve the meeting, the minutes of the regular meeting of March 25th, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Gurel.
Yes.
Councilor Lindstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Basil.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. That motion passes. Visitors and delegations. First we have Macau Maris here with the Brush Area Chamber of Commerce. Talk to us.
Well, thank you, Council, for having me. I'm here in terms of our MOU through DOLA. For those that are not aware, an MOU is a memorandum of understanding. It's a written agreement. In this case, it's a partnership between the state, the Colorado Main Street Program under DOLA, Department of Local Affairs, the local municipality, you guys, the City of Brush, and us, the local Main Street Program, the Brush Area Chamber of Commerce. This MOU is being presented for review as the state program has been doing an update of its program over the last year. Removing some obsolete items and just generally bringing it up to date with today's current program. What is Colorado Main Street, or the Main Street program in general, just for those that are not aware? Colorado Main Street provides many benefits directly to the local program, in this case the chamber, and the community in general in terms of resources and opportunities to explore how we can help make the community thrive through economic vitality, promotion, design, and organization. Those 4 points are also known as the 4-point approach of Main Street. Some history of the Brush Main Street program particularly. We have been a Main Street program since 2001, so over 20 plus years. Being one of the first few programs in the state. Additionally, we gained graduate level status in 2014, which is the highest accredited level possible within the state program, being only one of 9 in the state. In addition, some of the work that has come from this partnership since its inception, some of the benefits of our current business incentives program, the Brush Cares program. For instance, we have access to a state architect for businesses at the local level, free of charge for the businesses through the program, through our accreditation, in addition to technical assistance and opportunities for several other past and more ongoing projects. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for the city's past partnership in this program, and I look forward to continuing this partnership moving forward. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer any concerns.
Did you bring a copy of the new MOU, or are you going to send that out? Or
I will send it out.
Okay.
Yeah, on a staff level, we're still hashing
Working on
it
it.
out to be able to bring to council for your
Oh,
vote.
okay.
Approval.
Access to the architect, do you have to be a business owner?
Yes, so
I'm sorry.
So technically, through the Main Street program, typically as it's laid out, it's designed if you're in our Main Street district in Brush, you just put in a request either through myself or the Brush Cares program, and we can connect you through to the
Gotcha.
architect.
And if I was looking to buy a potential property, would I still have access to that?
Yes.
Architect, okay.
Any further questions?
Very good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mikhail.
Thanks.
All right. Citizen comments. Citizens are invited to speak to council on any item that does not have a public hearing scheduled. There's a 5-minute time limit per person unless otherwise noted by the mayor. Please note that no formal action will be taken on an item that is not on the posted agenda due to the open meeting law provision. However, they may be placed on a future posted agenda if action is required. To better assist you with your questions, please submit them in writing to the city clerk and someone from staff will respond. Is anybody here to do public comment? Nope, okay. We'll move on. Management, we have a proclamation number 2024-1, but the gal that was going to come speak on it is not here. Are you here for that? Nope, okay. So I will look for maybe a counselor that might want to read this first one. Does anybody want to read? I'll do it. You got it right there?
You can do it too. I don't care either way.
I've got it right here. I can
You
read
got it? Okay, go ahead.
Proclamation number 2024-1, a proclamation affirming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas children have a right to thrive, learn, and grow to their full potential, and whereas children are key to Colorado's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, while children are our most precious resource, they are also our most vulnerable, and whereas it is proven that family protective factors include parent resilience, social connections, knowledge of parenting and child development, concrete supports in times of need, and social and emotional competence of children can promote optimal development of kids, strengthen families, and reduce likelihood of child abuse and neglect. And whereas we all play a role in preventing child abuse and neglect, and there are ways everyone can get involved to help a child, even those involved who aren't raising a child or working with children every day, just one person has the power to make an extraordinary difference in the lives of both children and families. And whereas it is up to the community to provide safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments for our children, free of violence, abuse, and neglect. And whereas Colorado is currently implementing initiatives for improving the safety and well-being of children and families across the state. And whereas we strive to ensure that Colorado's children reach their full potential and become productive and responsible citizens, contributing positively to the future of communities, state, and nation as the next generation of leaders. Therefore, as the mayor of the city of Brush, she does here proclaim April 2024 is Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Very good. Thank you, Counselor. So we'll need a motion to approve this proclamation.
I move we approve proclamation number 2024-1 affirming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm sorry, was that Counselor Tyree or Counselor Basil?
You speak for the second.
Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Basil?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Stradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Garrell?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. Very good. And we have a second proclamation, number 2024-2, and Counselor Scalise would like to read this one.
Yes, thank you. Proclamation 2024-2, a proclamation affirming April 26th, Arbor Day in Brush, Colorado. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees are a resource of joy and spiritual renewal, and whereas Brush has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting ways. Therefore, on behalf of the Brush City Council, I do hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day in the city of Brush, and I urge all citizens to support the efforts to care for our city's community forestry program. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of present and future generations.
Very good. Thank you. So we'll need a motion for this one too.
I move we approve the proclamation number 2024-2 affirming April 26th, Arbor Day in Brush, Colorado.
Second.
Any discussion? Nope. Roll call vote?
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Guerrero,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Basil,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. That motion passes. Next, we have a resolution we'll have Joanne Gosling talk about.
At the last two council meetings during work session, we had visited about the Stormwater Fund and the upcoming Cambridge project and the necessity for a loan for that, and looked at a couple different routes of how much we could get by with charging. At the last meeting, council had agreed that we would increase our rate for the Stormwater Fund by 8 cents, bringing it from 19 cents to 27 cents per linear foot. And so this evening before you, I have the Resolution 2024-3, a resolution modifying rates for the stormwater system owned and operated by the City of Brush to be assessed and collected from any owner or occupant of any real property. And this would go into effect May 1st. So the first time they would see a bill would be the June 1 bill is when they would see the first bill. And we will put some informational stuff out on website and the lobby as well. Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Joanne. So we've talked about this in work sessions, and it's been written with all of our requests. So I would look for a motion to approve this.
Move that we approve resolution number 2024-3, modifying the rates for the stormwater system owned and operated by the City of Brush to be assessed and collected from any owner or occupant of any real property.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Basil,
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Guerrero,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. The motion passes. Finance.
Oh, sorry. We're staring at it. I move we approve disbursements and payroll for March 26, 2024 through April 18th, 2024, totaling $617,541.40.
A second.
All right.
I'll make a correction. It should say April 8th instead of 18th.
Okay. I was like, we haven't even got there yet. Okay. April 8th. All right. Anybody want to second that?
I think Dan.
A second.
Oh, you did already?
No,
Oh, okay.
Harry did.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Counselor Guerrero,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Basil,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. That motion passes. All right, we'll go on to staff reports. We'll have Tyler Purvis, Assistant Administrator, up first.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. 5 items to go over tonight. The first one, last Wednesday night, staff and the mayor met with a couple of the school board members to have our next meeting, which was our second meeting for the traffic study that was done. Last time was kind of a recap of that study and the next steps. So this past week, we had some follow-up from the previous meeting that we all touched base on, and then where do we go from here? And so the city had developed a potential matrix last year to get input and understanding of all the different needs and concerns out there as it pertains to traffic and future growth, among many other things, and ranking and rating those. And so we're going to start that process with the school district on identifying priorities for them and priorities for us as it pertains to all the specific things that we are looking to see happen out there. So we'll be meeting again, hopefully within the next month or so. So it's overall a positive meeting. I don't know, Dana, if you have anything that you want to add.
No, I think everybody's remained positive. They've been really productive meetings. I feel like it's been good to,
Agreed.
yeah.
And Tyler, one of the things that was requested in the past is like the written notes from that meeting, to send those out to council so they can see kind of what's been being discussed.
Yep. Yeah, and I sent that recap out Thursday morning, so I'll be glad to pass that on to Lorenda again to pass out to City Council for your review and consideration, just so you guys know what's going on. The second item is the fiber. So that's very much underway, as we all know, in town. Both Allo and Fiber are getting through their different areas of permitting for that. The project overall has been going good. There has been some challenges, as we expected, that we're going to come up with, them digging in people's yards and moving things that weren't supposed to be moved, and are you going to put this back, and why'd you do that, and I had the problem here, an issue there. So from what we gathered, as issues have been coming in, we've been directly and quickly responding and passing that information on to both Allo and Vero. And they've been very receptive to the feedback, comment, criticisms, complaints that have come in. And probably within 24 hours, if not within a couple hours, they've been responding to all those different phone calls. A lot of them going face to face to address those different obstacles and challenges there. Obviously, they're wanting to get their networks in as quick as possible. And we told them early on that we know that both of you want to get in as quick as possible, but we don't want this to get sloppy in the process. And so we're here to provide that oversight and accountability, and Patrick's been doing a good job each week, having meetings with them, bringing any additional concerns that come up, and then relaying information on the city staff that we might need to be aware of. Any questions on that big project?
I don't think it's fair to paint them in a positive light, given all the issues that we've had in Ward 1. So while I do feel that the president and the project manager of both the digging companies, which are not the fiber companies,
Correct.
they're the digging companies, they're subcontractors, they're different companies. They have been responsive, not always in a timely fashion, but getting construction notices after USIC already shows up is not fair to homeowners. And I did address that directly with both of the digging companies. So maybe the fiber companies are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but I don't feel that the digging companies are. So I don't want them painted in a perfectly positive light when we're all kind of struggling over where we live.
Okay, and that's fair, but overall, I would say that we anticipated those things early on some degree, that there was going to be challenges and frustrations, and so they've been responsive. And
I hope that, Vero and the fiber companies as a whole realize how much trouble that their subcontractors have given people.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay. It was brought up right before the meeting, asking if we were aware of the downed brush sign on the west side of town. It was tragic. Yes, we're aware of that. Laying there like it ought not to be, so we'll be responsive to that and see what we can do to get our sign back up, because it certainly doesn't look good. Well, driving a brush and the sign's laying on its back there. It's a nice sign. My heart was broken when I heard that. Arbor Day. So next Friday, as we just proclaimed, is for Arbor Day, but our celebration is going to be Thursday because the school district does not have school on Fridays. So our annual Arbor Day tree planting is going to take place. We invite anyone in the community to come to that. 10 o'clock, it's going to be over on the west side of the golf course, right along the property line between the golf course and those homes there. There's a bunch of ornamental and fruit trees that we're going to be placing there, because right above it are some power lines 25 feet up, so trees that aren't going to grow that high over the long term. Then we've got a bunch of other trees that we're going to be planting across town in our parks and in front of residences over the next couple weeks. I can't remember the exact number, but those will be, the order will be placed tomorrow, and we'll be getting those and distributing those around town. And then the following week, the 25th, Lance might speak to it in his report, but is the high school community give back day. But one of the projects that they help us out with is plant some of those trees around town as well. So that's a good thing. And then the last one, just to FYI, there's been some discussions back and forth and preliminary this and that, but we got a formal site plan submitted for the Maverick gas station on the north side of the interstate. So that's going through the formal site plan review process, which just takes 2 weeks. We're already 1 week into it, so we'll get all of our comments together, that we hear back from all the different agencies and departments that we ask for comments on. Send those back to them, they make any changes, and then we get those back and we give it a thumbs up, and then typically they submit for their building permit. So that's exciting news on the first shovel that's going to be dropping on the north side of the interstate for that development. And I promise you, plenty more information to come on what's happening up there. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Lance Schwintz, Director of Community Services.
Just a couple things. We're this coming weekend, we are having our first golf tournament of the year, our Masters Par 3. There is still room available, and so Saturday morning, the Masters Par 3 tournament will take place, and then that evening we have 2 comedy shows, one at 7 and one at 9 o'clock. So it's going to be a pretty busy evening over there at the golf course. Outside of this past weekend, we've had great numbers at the golf course, and as far as people playing and in recreation programs are getting started and going from there. So, any questions? Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Lance. Joanne Gosling.
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Loranda Packard, City Clerk.
I also have nothing to report.
Okay. Dan Krav, our attorney on the phone. Do you have anything for us?
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't be there in person tonight, but I don't have anything for you either.
Okay. Swift and quick. Does anybody have any questions for Dan? Okay. Monty Torres.
Okay, a few items this evening. First one is tomorrow, we're going to be doing a series of interviews for the finance director position. And we've had a pretty good turnout as far as number of applicants applying, as far as numbers. But we did round those down to 5. And right now we're going to be interviewing 4 of those tomorrow. Next item is the COM board. I've mentioned that in the past that we're working on a new IGA for the COM board, an agreement between all the communities and the county commissioners, and we're awaiting now a draft IGA from the county commissioners. We have some of the conditions all agreed upon, and we'll be bringing that to the city council after our next review of that draft once we receive it. And we'll bring that to council in a work session, talk about it a little bit, and it's large enough of an agreement for the future. This current agreement's been in place since 1984 for the comm center, and it might be one of those discussions that the city of Brush, we recommend the city-county meetings that we used to have, where we bring all the council members and the commissioners in together, just so they can hear all in the same room what it's about, the conditions that are involved, and if it's the direction that we want to go collectively. So we're going to run that by the group and see if that's a direction that we want to go for the future. Still working on a review on the opioid IGA that we signed a while back, saying that our portion of the opioid funds that were awarded to the state and the municipalities, our portion, I did verify with Joanne that we're not receiving it, so it should be going to the region, and they're going to manage that, but we are asking for a simple, like a 1 or 2 page document that we can hand out to the council and give an update of how the funds are being used, what's the goals of the funds now that they've been planning. So we'll keep working that direction. One of our city council priority was trying to explore the possibilities of Colorado Parks and Wildlife and our local law enforcement sharing a future law enforcement building. And on that note, I've heard so far that they're not too interested in a joint facility, but they are looking at 2 locations around the community where they would put their future regional CPW building. So we're still working on those details. And council retreat, Loranda sent out an email today. We're trying to find a time to do a little bit earlier than usual, council retreat or a council advance. We've called them both in the past. But the dates that she gave out was the next 2 non-city council Mondays when we don't have meetings, and/or this Saturday morning, if there's an interest there from the council, Saturday morning of doing a quick council retreat.
How quick are we anticipating?
Probably about an hour and a half.
Okay.
So if that's something that interests you, to not interfere with your regular work week or evenings, that's also an option. So if you would just,
I'd rather do it on a Monday,
Monday?
personally. That'd be my personal.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do Saturday. Sports.
Mondays. So just respond to Loranda, and we'll go with wherever we can fit, hopefully everyone on a Monday, the next 2 Mondays, non-council meeting Mondays. Okay, so just let Loranda know, and we'll get one of those dates selected. Last thing I have is just a shout out to Lance. I've been attending a lot of the different recreation programs lately, and most of all the kids' programs, the basketball, the volleyball starting. I went on the wrong day, but I got to see the other kids. I got to see the younger kids. But softball, baseball, just all kinds of different programs that we either support in some manner or we manage ourselves. But a lot of happy kids out there in recreation world, so good job on that, and your staff as well. That's all I have.
Very good. Thank you. Mayor and council reports. Do I have any councilors with anything to share? We are a quiet bunch tonight, aren't we? We don't have anything either. We do have a few work session items, so I would look for a motion to adjourn so we can move into our work session.
So moved.
Second.
And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Just in case. All right, we are adjourned and go into work session.